show. Just started raining. I'm sure it'll be great. Left on Beekman Avenue, 1 mile. Left. I'm gonna go half a mile, make a right, I don't know. Hello. I'm gonna make a right on Elm. I guess we missed the right on Elm.
Summer camp, the 1940s. Summer camp, the 1940s. Alaman right and Alaman left, swing the one you love the best. Pause in the rec room on square dance night, do-si-do, go left and right. Girls meet boys in thumping dances, sweaty palms and covert glances. All join hands and circle wide, sexual longing coming alive. Reel to the fiddler's turkey in the straw, whirl and stamp, wanting more. No thought then of white-gloved ladies, bewigged gents, in fancy liveries, alamanding in some ancient court, measured steps of a sober sort. Just to call his word, hints at legacy, coming down from history. Swing the one that you love best, Alaman right, Alaman left. Cycladic harp player, a small marble statue at the Metropolitan Museum of Art, almost 5,000 years old. Smooth oval head upturned to desire, the harpist listens with curved ear, sings with pursed lip as the harp flows out of his shoulder to molded forearms, large fingers embracing the antique harp. With the flat of his upright thumb, he plucks the absent string. The assurance of the harpist's arms and hands, the singing marble soundbox reverberating against his thigh, foretell lute, sitar, cello, guitar, heart song of generations. He, yearning in the stiff chair, abandoned to ecstasy, plump teeth lifting on the ground.
dancing at the ball with Bach. Back and forth and back. Watch the dancers go. See the candles glow. See the costumes swirl. See the couples at the ball. Their wigs are powdered white. Their bosoms shine bright. Their steps graceful, fair. Their partners dance with flair. Hear the violets play. Can life hold any more delight than tonight to dance a bourrée, Sunday to sing an alleluia?
be a 10-minute break. You can little stretch your legs and come on. All right, so without much ado, we're going to start the second section. Thank you very much.
You don't know me, but I will tell you that I'm a person who don't like to waste anything, most especially at my age. Time, but also as a writer, words. So if I have words left over after I write a poem, I save them. And here they all are. The poem is called Leftover Words. After the poem is finished, they remain unused, ferocious, exultant, succulent, hamstrung. Abandoned orphans, they caw, clatter, regurgitate, clutter, resume, assume, subsume, rebut. A waste, a pity, not to use them. Bitten, sluice, rubble, unearthed, rude, snuggle, lump, flattened, double boiled. Cut with surgical skill, they rankled, reached, wrecked, whacked, apathetic, marginal, aggrieved, almost sprung, triple-minded, gradually turning, pitch black, blood-splashed peonies, lisping Rottweilers, lugubrious cat burglars, alpha females unhinged, somnambulists, gargling, fasting, a calcified, antagonistic, harmonious shortfall.
The cup, so close to my heart, this cup, white, slender, fine bone china, bearing just one word, silence. Gift from my son, now 3,000 miles away. It sits on the counter near the sink, in a safe place to keep it from breaking. Dear husband, you put it in the sink. Knock it over to prove the point. It will stand the fall. I pick it up, turn it around, run my finger down, the break in silence.
Wow. 2010. Deaf ears muffle the pleas of women twice raped, the slaughtered, the homeless, poor at the doorstep. Few hands reach. Sly hands slip lies into pockets. Truth hurries, head down, turns the corner. Fool's gold glitters the gutter. Mansion, gleam. Musician, bend to your strings. Sound the heart's irrepressible vision. Play so the human hand listens. Loose the deep voice.
A tribute to the oboe master, in commemoration of John Delancey, principal oboist of the Philadelphia Orchestra, who at 71 braved an Atlantic crossing with 5 intrepid sailors, and one of them is here today. The realm of reed was yours to rule. Dazzle you did with notes that spun a pitch so pure it thrilled the air, toying with a melody, alluding to a harmony. the virtuoso oboist. In younger years, the call to war put him on foreign soil. As if by synchronicity, he found himself in Germany, face to face with Richard Strauss. Each shared the same affinity for oboe's vibrant sound that spurred the muse of Strauss to write a score concerto for oboe, inspired by him. Maestro of the Philadelphia School, which hallmarked style, brilliant, free, a paradox of bright and dark together, of thin, smooth, and timbre of the sea. That same melody he often heard within, a serenade clear and true, intoning launch yourself anew. His mind awash with music, 7 decades into life, in seaman's slang he said, "It's time to sail across the pond. Board that sloop with bunks for 6, ride on waves that twirl like clefs, feel with the body the ebb and flow of Neptune's own adagio. Fate gathered the blue water vessel, captain, helmsman, cook, the able-bodied hands, to share the sea with the oboist, whose talent was to shape the wind ashore. Cast off, came the call, and shallow water fell behind, as deeper fathoms beckoned them. Then open ocean was there to roam, and every orchestral nuance known was echoed by the breeze. He was again a man at home, that man who loved the reed.
A musician speaks with a promise fiercer than the force of gravity I don't remember making. I comply. It holds its bars above my head. Deep complexity, rhythm, phrases, structure. I stretch to serve divinity, which mandates I be scholar, a suppliant, a seeker who nurtures talents of the young as conductor. Teacher, I lavish hours of delight, pour music like fine wine into every thirsty throat as joy pours into mine. Curse, frustration, honor, ecstasy, despair, obsession. I soar tethered to the muse that marked me, its possession. This next poem is dedicated to my sister, Judith Samoji, who was the first woman to conduct at New York City Opera and at the Frankfurt Opera in Germany. Bach versus Beethoven. Judith and I, sisters, musicians, argued this folly for years. I'd swear that Bach was the greatest composer. She'd counter, how can you be so absurd? Bach is a lightning bug. Beethoven's lightning. Conflict like lava seethed, then erupted. One day we both vied to use the piano. Grown women, we grappled, fell to the floor shrieking and plundering handfuls of hair. Embarrassed at what had befallen us, shamed, we denied, let crusts harden between us. Swollen with child, I'd sung Beethoven's Ninth. An unaware public bore witness that night. As trumpets and timpanis sounded their cue, my baby kicked for the very first time, throughout the last movement, the ode to joy. As my right hand was clutching my score, my left was splayed on my belly in awe. When that son died, life darkened for me. I kept his ashes close by in an urn. Months, my eyes flooded from diurnal springs. They seemed to seep with a grief of their own, even when I was too empty to weep. I could not speak his name, listen to music. Only Bach offered solace to me. I bored a fugue at one of the entrances. Circling, it led me into complexity, and through the density, Johann would carry me, clamped on his back while he jostled and bucked. I held on tight to his modulations, grabbing with faith in his skill as death fought with me, flailed me in mock, dirty, and sleepless, eyes swollen shut. I screamed with brass, Dona nobis pacem, throat bloody, straining to the final chord when Bach cradled me. Keeping his promise, he would resolve his fugue and my pain. I stumbled blindly. He led me home. Death took my sister before she turned 50, leading our discord jangling eternally, incomplete, never a coda finale, no resolution for Beethoven. Bach.
write a chaconne in D minor, you must be orphaned by the time you are 10. You must get into fights. You must spend time in jail. You must marry your second cousin and have 7 children. See 3 of them die. Say goodbye to your healthy wife. Spend 3 months entertaining the Duke who is taking the waters in Carlsbad. Come home to stand at the grave of your wife and try to console your children. After 17 months, you must marry a woman 17 years younger than you. Sire 13 children, watch 7 die. Make your home a center of music, your music a prayer. Go blind and die after a second unsuccessful surgery to restore your sight. You must leave your second wife, homeless and penniless. Be buried like her in an unmarked grave. kinds of music. Maria Barbara, Anna Magdalena. We buried the children, whose names are music too. Listen, we are singing their names. Maria Barbara sings of Johann Christoph, who died the day he was born. Of Maria Sophia, his twin, who lived almost a month. Of Leopold Augustus, who nearly completed a year. Now, Anna Magdalena makes her soprano entrance. She sings of Christina Sophia Henrietta, our first, sings Anna, and the first to die, now 3 years old, the age at which Christian Gottlieb died, then Ernestus Andreas in his first year, Regina Johanna. Who lived to be 5. This was Anna Sings the cruelest. Christiana Benedicta 1. Christiana Dorothea 1. We are all dead now, even the children who survived, even you, Johann, and in every performance you resurrect, and we are forgotten again, though we throb in the music like blood. I heard music before I could see, curled like a treble clef in the dark. Blind, listening to woodwinds of breath, percussion of heart, vials of voices, not knowing what I was listening to, in love with the music. Music was in me, too, long lines of DNA, stretching back like a song you have been listening to and are still listening to, a song that hums you. I had to write it down, page after page, elaborate as brocade, pages rustling like skirts as I wrote, as musicians turned the pages, rustling like curtains behind which children were hiding. I cared about everything so much that I wrote out ornamentation, note by note. To the God who took my children, my wife, my sight, I make one final offering, all the music that I could not write.
Whirling winds rage, barren branches bend, brown broken leaves circle like scurrying squirrels. Yet a blackbird with lacquered feathers sits undisturbed.
Thank you. It was really, really wonderful. I want to really thank Robert and Margaret for bringing this idea to the Hudson Valley Writers Center. I think this kind of collaborative effort is really the key to the success of all not-for-profit arts organizations. We have to do this more and more. We have to share resources. We have to share ideas and have events that are bigger than any one institution. So I really thank you, the audience, for participating in this joint partnership with the Westchester Poets Express and with Margaret and Rob Hogan and the Hudson Valley Writers Center. Coming up this week, actually August 5th, in your programs you probably saw that the Hudson Valley Writers Center Twilight Series is going to have a special reading by young audience authors. We encourage you, if you read to your kids, or if you like to write for children, to please come to this reading. It's wonderful. It's on August 5th, and it's at 7:30. Later in August, we have a wonderful partnership with Kave Kanam, which is an organization for African American poets in Brooklyn, and they're coming here to do Black Nature, 4 Centuries of African American Nature Poetry. And that will be on Sunday, August 22nd. And then on Sunday, August 29th, again, we will be collaborating with other small presses. We have our own imprint press, the Slapper and Hall Press, where we've produced many, many wonderful chapbooks, which are the result of a national competition. Well, we're going to be also partnering with Inkwell, Westchester Review, and Toad Lily Press, and presenting an afternoon of readings from the various presses. So please come to that event as well. We thank you so much for being here today. Please enjoy some more wine and some crackers and talk to our guests. And yes, what? Somebody say something? Okay. Hey, thank you. For our EL class, it's over here. Please do.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Extraordinary. Extraordinary. What was the organization that sponsored this or that organized?
No. It was a collaboration of Westchester Poets Express. I love the name. Don't you know the name? Excuse me, ma'am. And the Hudson Valley Writers. Here we go. Robert Hogan. And yes, words and music. Now we're gonna take the show on the road.
Yes, I think you should. Well, you got the name Express, right?
We got to
You don't even do
all of the great composers, right? And it has to have a theme. We can do love, peace, war.
I didn't even realize so much of that history about Bach.
I know. Is that amazing?
Really,
Yeah.
God, that,
Came out.
you know.
Really, Margaret, is calling.
Yeah, Margaret, really. And I love that. I was saying to Ruth, that line at the end, even though we throb in the music like blood.
Yeah. It's amazing.
All right, thank you, ladies. Bye.
Sorry.
Sorry. Oh, I'm sorry. Hi. I wanted to just thank you very, very much. And it was fabulous. And I especially love the line, even though we throb in the music like blood. It was really well delivered. And I have to ask you this. Do you play piano? So you don't play together? No. All right. 'Cause as I watched you listening, I thought you were so following it. I thought you were following it as a pianist might, you know? But anyway, beautiful. Beautifully written material. I had no idea that his life was that dramatic, you know?
Neither did I, and I got, the more I learned, the more fascinating it became,
Nice and close to this, because then we'll hear the
And you're going to be talking to me.
Right, looking at him, and you're just near the camera, so his eye is close to you, and your voice is near the microphone. Thank you. Stand by. All right, stand by. Stand by. And you will be speaking up nice and fast. 3, 2, 1, looking at Frankie.
Robert, what made you choose those pieces out of this wonderful collection box on a company cello suite?
I thought the C major because it's very engaging, and then the Margaret wrote the poem about the thumb, the D minor. I thought the D minor suite would be really working for the whole. So it wasn't very good. I got the 2 pieces.
But that's interesting. What came first, the choices of the poetry to the music, or the music to the choices of the poetry? Because I know some of the poetry was written specifically for this event.
Once I chose the music and we started getting the poems, then we chose the poems and where they went based on the music. So I thought this would work as a program, and we saw there were certain poems that were not so specific, and we created a little section with the leftover words that we had to teaching to be with the words part of the program is related with the directions, so that instead of having music poem, and then I have to go from poems all together, some music all together,
And you created a beautiful thematic, dark, stories about death and loss. Really supported by music. It was just very powerful, really enhanced each other, which is the whole picture of this type of country.
Right, and that's where the 2 arts coming together broaden one's understanding. So even for me, knowing how much death was in Bach's life, you hear it in the music, helps you bring things out.
It's a beautiful piece.
Okay, stay right where you are. We're going to re-ask. And then I don't know if I can ask them. You are the best one.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're 12. Asking questions about the dark books.
So, how come you?
Like this, something like that. You'll be. You have to.
I don't have to ask the whole question?
No, just be part of this. We'll pick up solar as away from you. Or from you to part of that question.
Because I'm doing
Can I ask you something about the darkness in it and how you do that in the spot? Stand by. And 3, 2, 1.
Why did I stop you?
The darkness of the event. What brought that on? How did you choose to work with those specific music tales?
Stay there. Now you're just looking and listening. Stand by.
Am I asking a question again?
No, he can talk to you. You're just, you can say anything. You say you have to come in the room. You're listening.
And it made me cry. This is deeper and better than any one organization in our lives. We're delighted to be part of other arts organizations in Westchester, and we want to continue to do so in the next years.
Good. Good. Okay. Thank you so much.
Thanks.
Thanks, Frank. Oh, that's great.